What's up, farming family? How y'all doing today? We're going to be talking about the C2 from the Honolulu Paddle Company. Okay, essentially, this is a Gen 1.5. It's not going to be as poppy as the Gen 2s or Gen 3s. It's not going to core crush like the Gen 2s or, the foam crushing like the Gen 3s do. I do have a code for this company, and specifically for this series of paddles. The C paddles, my code would be Farmer C. If you use Farmer C at checkout, you'll get 5% off. I'll get a kickback from that. The reason I'm being specific about which code to use for these paddles is because if you try to use the Farmer K for the Kevlar paddles, and then try to use this code at the same time, while having a Kevlar and a C2 also in the shopping cart, both codes are not going to work. So you have to split those up into different orders if you're wanting to use different discount codes. That's why I was going to let y'all know that. But yeah, let's get into this Gen 1.5 paddle, y'all. Hope you've been doing good. First thing I want to talk about with this paddle is the pop. So first thing I noticed going between this and the Vatic Prism, this had a tad bit more pop than the Vatic Prism did, but it's not to a point where it's going to drastically change and alter which paddle you choose between the two. Like, it's not like it's like, oh, it's getting up there near the Gen 2 pop, because that's just not going to be the case. The Prism and the C2 are very, very close in terms of pop. Now, if I was talking about power, I do feel that the C2 does have a little bit more power than the Vatic Prism. Also, another thing that's not going to drastically, change or be a deciding factor in terms of which one of these two paddles you want, because they're very, very close. But yeah, when you get these 1.5s, don't expect, Gen 2 pop or anything like that. These are more control-oriented paddle on the lower pop spectrum and on the lower power spectrum. Now, when it comes to control, this is where the paddle shines. If you're wanting to play against Gen 3s and get easy resets and stuff like that, bam, this is it. Look no farther. If you're wanting something you can do easy drops, easy dinks, stress-free, and not worrying about popping the ball up, this is also going to be, the paddle for you. This is a really, really controllable paddle, and probably one of the, best paddles in terms of control that you can get, not to mention the price that I'm going to mention at the very end of this video. Okay. This is a really, really good controllable paddle. That's all I really need to say. I could have left it literally at 3 lines and been like, this is a really controllable paddle, more controllable than 99% of the market. If you like control paddles, this paddle's for you. Bam. When it came to the RPMs of this paddle, it got 2,061 RPMs. Like I always say, anything above 1,800 or 1,850 is going to apply enough spin and stuff that you're going to be able to do what you want to do. When we're getting these spin numbers, we're literally smacking it as hard as we can, trying to apply as much top spin as we can. And it's not like in a tournament setting where you're trying to be more accurate and stuff. It's like we're trying to apply the most that we can to get the, accurate numbers consistent compared to the other paddles that we've tested. So 1850 or higher, you're good to go. When it came to the swing weight of this paddle, my swing weight was 114, which is average compared to hybrid shaped paddles on the market. If you're using other hybrid shaped paddles, this is going to be, right on par and easy for you to just pick up and play with. If you're used to elongated shaped paddles, this is going to be lighter and easier to swing for you. The only thing you're going to feel is if you're coming from like a standard or wide body paddle and you're moving up to a hybrid, and you're going to feel that little extra swing weight. But overall, the swing weight should be good for like 99.9% of players that are out there playing right now. And in terms of overall weight, it was 8.1 ounces out of the box without anything added. All right, when it came to the twist weight on mine was 6.81, which is a really good twist weight for a hybrid shaped paddle. I think it's in the top 5 or 6 out of all the ones I've tested in terms of hybrids, which is really, really good. Now, what I want to talk about is the sweet spot. The sweet spot of this paddle isn't as big as the J2K and the other Gen 2 paddles, but it's big enough to where I feel I can do what I want to with it without having it be a hindrance. Like, sure, yeah, you add a little bit of lead or tungsten on the sides, you open up the sweet spot a little bit more, that'll be fine, but I'm not willing to get rid of, the hand speed that I have. So I'm perfectly fine with it the way it is stock in terms of sweet spot, but it's not like a Gen 2 sweet spot where it's stretched out a little bit more. Now, when it comes to value, this is a $95 paddle. With my 5% discount off, it gets even lower than that. That is a stupid price for this paddle, like straight up ridiculous. All right, the people I would recommend this for: We've all got friends at the 3540 plus level who are control oriented, who do not do speed ups. They're going to always do drops. They're going to rely on being consistent with the soft game. This is a paddle for them. Now, you also have friends that you've introduced into pickleball. They're playing with these crazy bright colored Amazon paddles that they've currently got. This is going to be a paddle for them. It's going to allow them to pick it up, learn the game. It's not going to be so poppy that they're hitting everything up in the air and get discouraged. They're going to learn everything they need to know about the game while using this control-oriented paddle. This is also for them. So it's people that are coming up from beginner to intermediate, or your friends that are 4.0 plus level who really, really love the soft game, because that's where this excels from. Anybody that wants to play soft, this is going to be hard not to recommend. It is literally $95. Much like the Vatic Prism Flash, they all deserve to sell as good as they're, selling because of the value, because of how they play. But yeah, overall, great quality paddle for the price. If you're looking for a paddle as a gift for somebody, like your significant other or something, just get this. They're going to take it out and play with it. They're going to play with it long enough to where they figure out what their style is, and then they can upgrade from there. But yeah, until next time, stay safe. Have a good day. Drink plenty of water. I mean it. Peace, y'all.